Hey, hi everyone. So guys, so from today you can record the session. So how to record the session? So everybody is having the record access. Okay, now on the top of the attendees list, you can see the start recording button. Don't select the start recording button immediately. So there is the right hand side. You can see the settings. So settings on the top of the attendees list, you guys you can see. Click on the settings. In the settings category, so in the settings, so you can see the categories. In categories, select the recording. So once you select the recording, you right hand side you can see the audio and video option. Okay, so audio and recording option you can see. So in the recording option, what you need to do, you need to select the radio button, convert to Windows Media Player file. Okay, click on OK, and those files, this recorded session is going to store into by default in my documents. Okay, then click on start recording button. So once you click on start recording button, so immediately that the start recording button changed to red color. That means it is recording the session. Okay, fine. So the last session we discussed about the component wise architecture. So today we'll see the start with BA Launchpad. So what is a BA Launchpad and how to create the Webby reports. So that we'll see today's session. Yes, Tony? You have any question? Yes, I'm repeating again. So on the top of the attendees list, you can see the blue color settings. Click on settings. Once you select the settings, and you can find the categories. So in the categories, select the recording option. Okay. Once you select the recording option, right hand side, okay, you have done. Right. Anybody having any issues? Okay. So guys, I'm connecting to the 4.0 server. So let's see how to create the Webby reports and how to connect to the Webby reports that we can see today. So go to start menu. So there you can see in the program files, or you can see the business object folder. So in the business object folder, so there you can find the Java BA Launchpad. Select the Java BA Launchpad. So once you select the BA Launchpad, so the SAP Business Object is a BA Launchpad is a, it's a SAP Business Object portal. So from here, so we are going to view the reports in the public folder, and also from here we are going to create the web. And password I'm entering here. Okay. Now you can see this is the home page. In the home page, you can see that my recently viewed document. So which I have recently opened the document. You can see in my recently viewed document. If you receive any mails, so I mean mails means if you receive any scheduled reports, so that after successful completion of the schedule, that schedule information you can see in the unread inboxes, and also you can see the reports like which recently you executed, which recently you refaced the reports, so that you can view it in the my recently run document. And if there are any alerts comes, that alerts information you can see here, right? In the home page you can see, so this information. And guys, if you select the documents, the folders, so my favorites is specific to the users. Only the techie user can able to access my favorites. It's a personal folder. the personal folder, you can see the inboxes, my alerts, subscribed alerts, personal category, you can see the my favorites. And similarly, you can see there is a folders. If you expand the folders, so in the folders, so actual reports you can see, like if any user created that reports, or like any developer created that report, that report information you can see in this subfolder. So in the public folders, there are many subfolders there. Let's see. So let's select the report samples. So in the report samples, you can see the sales report and testing reports. Okay. And similarly, if you select the report conversion tool, so there are some other reports. Okay. So whatever we create, whatever save those reports, that you can see here. And how we can open these reports? So basically the end user can log into the BA credentials. Once he log into the credentials, so he will go to their specific folder and they can open the reports. So how they will open the report? So just open, double click on this, so it will open the same report. It's a sales report, so it will display the data, so which we already created. That in the sales wise information you can see here. It's taking some time. Let's connect to the other server also. Yeah, welcome for online trainings. Yes, so what you need to do, you need to just, there is a start recording button there, you have organizer access. So then on top of the attendance list, you can see the start recording button. Okay, don't select immediately the start recording button, select the settings. So in the settings, you can see the option as the categories. In the categories, you can select the recording. So once you select the recording, the right hand side, you can see the audio and video option, audio and the recording option. So in the down you can see, please select the radio button as a convert to Windows media player file. So please convert the Windows media player file. Okay. So once you select that, right, click on OK. Then so click on start recording button. So it will store up once the end of the session. So that recording is going to store into the my documents. Fine. So guys, you can see this report. So year wise, the state wise, product wise, sales revenue and quantity. So you can see this report. So this is the way the end users open their reports. Okay. So this is the way the end users open the report. So how we can create the reports? How this is a web intelligence report. So web intelligence report is done by just some other DO developer. So those reports we can open. The end users can open from the documents list, my document, the public folders. They can open the reports through the public folders. If it is a sales report or like a particular particular state reports, so they will create a folder and they save the developers. They save the reports into the separate folders. Okay, only those people like the California people can access only the California reports. So that way, so we do the restriction to open their own report. The specific state users open the reports. Okay, that way we do the restrictions that we can see the restrictions at later. Okay, so then how to create the web reports? So how to create the web reports in 4.0? So guys, you can select the application and create the web intelligence application. Okay, select the web intelligence application. Okay. So once you select the web intelligence application, click on new. So select the universe, click on OK. Okay. Now you can see the list of the invoices here. Okay, just again I am just click on new web intelligence. So new web intelligence, you can see there are different sources. So one is without no data source also you can create just a dummy report. That means it will not display any data. And if you create the report using the universes, so you can see the different databases. So that data you can see in our report. And the BEX, so you can create a report by connecting to the BEX. So BEX is one of the source to generate a report. And analysis view. So pick any analysis view as a data source, you can generate a report. So as of now, I am creating the report by selecting the universe. Click on OK. So once you select the universe, then you can see the list of the universes which is already created in the repository. Okay. So you can see the list of the universes which we already developed earlier sessions. Right. So you can see there are many universes are there. So there is a one universe. eFashion universe is a predefined universe. When you install the BO, you will get that eFashion universe. Okay. So in the instance stage, we will generate the report with our predefined universe. Then later we will create our own universe and we will create the report. Okay. So first, what we want to know first. So we need to understand how the Webby function. Once the completion of the Webby functionality, we will move to the universe designing. Okay. So guys, I am selecting the eFashion universe. So select the eFashion universe and click on select. Now you can see the query panel is open. Once you select the universe, the query panel is open. So if you see, there is a universe name. You can find the universe name, and there are different folders. This folder is nothing but is a classes. This folder is nothing but a classes, and the class contains a group of objects. Class contains a group of objects, and objects are qualified as three types. So objects are qualified as three types: dimension, detail, measure object. So dimension, which contains the character type information, and detail is the descriptive of the dimension object. See, assume like the customer, create a customer name as a dimension object, and customer age we can take it as a detail object. Okay. If you take the customers, suppose like state is an object, and city is an object, and city pin code, so we will take it as a detail object. We will take it as a detail object. Who is going to create this object? Yes, we are going to create this object at the universe level. Okay, so objects are qualified as three types. One is the dimension, detail, and the measures. So measures contains the transaction information. It contains the transaction information. Yes, Ronnie. Yeah, go ahead.
My question is, can you hear me?
Yeah, yes, I can hear you.
All right. My question is that I know you actually talked about when I have a class or a folder and then I create a dimension. Is it mandatory to create a detail or measure or any of these, or can it stay without these?
Okay. So yes, so object and the measure should be created. So without the dimension or without measure object, we cannot create any report. Okay. So and do we need to create the separate classes for the separate objects? So you can create a one class, but without the dimension object, without measure object, we can't create any reports. Okay. So we are going to generate a report with a dimension and measure object. Okay.
Yeah, Madhukar.
Got it?
Yeah, this is Ram. Hello.
Yes, Ram. Go ahead.
Yeah, for actually, if I want to create a master data report, so what is the solution? You said without measure and without dimensions. So suppose if I'm generating the report on master data, so how would I approach without measure in master data? Normally measures are not existing, right?
Yeah, just a second.
Master data, simply I'm asking for master data, normally we don't find any measures.
Okay.
So that case, actually, how would I approach for web reports for master data?
Yeah. See, without measures also, you can able to create the reports. That means, like you can see, like just I am taking this testing, so you can assume like here.
Measures is not mandatory, right?
Yes. So measures is not mandatory, but so how the user analyze, basically we can analyze the report with a measure object only, right? Measure information only. What is the sales revenue of a particular year, and what is the quantity sold of this particular state. So state wise the quantity sold. So these are the measures. With the measures only we can analyze the report. So I know like the state is like what, see, generally it is not required to, so in each year how many quarters are there, right?
Yeah.
So this is a master data. So with this report we can't do anything. End user can't do anything. In each year there is a 4 quarters. Yes, this will everybody knows. But in each year, so each quarter wise, what is the sales revenue, that we need to know. The end user can analyze the report each quarter wise, what is the sales revenue, right?
Yeah, that's fine. But in some cases, if you take the customer and material, that time actually, if you want some reports, normally master data report, measures are not required. Okay, no, I got it. But I am thinking measures is mandatory, but measures is not mandatory. We can, if I want, we can do it with dimensions
Yes.
also, right? Okay.
Yes. Okay. Okay. So now just I am taking the year and quarter object, that means the data which is displaying the year wise, quarter wise, and similarly I am taking the state object. So the data is going to display the state wise, city wise, and also I am taking the sales revenue. So whenever I am just to drag the object in the result object panel, the backend SQL will generate. If you see, the backend SQL is generated here. So the universe which is defined by connecting to the Microsoft Access database. So in the Microsoft Access database, there are different tables are there, which we designed these objects. So by connecting to the one of the column of the table. So if you see, so calendar year lookup is a table name, okay, and the YR year is a column name, okay. The data which is coming from into our report, that is column called the calendar year lookup. The calendar year lookup is a table and YR is a column, okay. And see, the data which is coming from the state is the outlet lookup table, and the state is the column name, okay. And now, so the data which is coming from the different tables, so when the data is coming from the different tables, so that there should be a joins. So if you don't have the join between the tables, so you will get the wrong results. So it will form a Cartesian product, so we will not see the correct results if there is no joins between the tables. So who is going to set up these joins? Yes, we are going to set up the joins at the inverse level. So the baby is not creating his own queries. So based on the universe designing only, the SQL is generating. Okay. So, but as a web developer, you should not have any SQL knowledge. It's not required to have a knowledge of the SQL. So directly you can, the backend SQL will generate when you drag this object in the query panel. Okay. Now, when you run the query, so what will happen? So it will show you the results. Okay. So why I can see the only the year and quarter, because like first time when you run the report with a particular object, so it will display all the objects. But so already earlier I started running the report with year wise, quarter wise. That's what it is not displaying the state and sales revenue city. Then, so what you need to do? So you need to drag manually this object into the vertical table. So take this state object and drop into the just right side of the quarter. So now in a 2004, the quarter wise, the state information it is displaying, and similarly city I am take the city object and drop here, and also I am taking the sales revenue and dropping here. Okay. Just expand this column. How we can expand it? Just expand this column. Now you can state also it is Massachusetts is not displaying. So expand this width of the column. Now you can see, and similarly the sales revenue also you can expand this. Okay. So now, so the data which is displaying in 2004 in quarter 1 California state, the Los Angeles sales revenue is displaying. Okay. The state wise, city wise, year wise data is displaying, right? And also if you want to see, so how to edit the query? So simple. So there data access, you need to edit the query. So if you want to add the product line information, the product wise sales revenue, you can add the product lines information and run this query. Now again, you need to add the product information into the table. You need to add, just take this product lines and drop into the table. Now the data is going to display the product wise information. So in 2004 in quarter 1, so the accessories state wise sales revenue you can see. Okay, the data is not duplicating here because so in 2004 quarter 1 results, so there are different products, sales revenue is happened in the particular product, so the state wise and city wise sales revenue is displayed. Perfect, fine. See, suppose I am removing this, how we can remove the object, how we can remove the column from here. So just try to click on this and just drop into the left side panel now. So the sales revenue will change now. Okay. So the sales revenue, how the sales revenue is displaying here based on the object added into the vertical table. So that based on that object the value will display here. Okay. So I am removing the state object here.
Ask one question, please. Hello.
Yes. Yes. Go ahead.
Just one quick question that, suppose for the user, are they going to have the, and we restrict the users just to have this view, or will they mandatorily have the other view where you have the, where you are designing videos?
Access it. So just I'm keeping mute and just, okay. Okay. So there are two ways. End user just open the report, they can view the reports. They doesn't have any modification access. Okay, just they don't have the access to even the product lines. They cannot add that product lines into the vertical table. So they doesn't have that edit access. So just they can refresh the report. What will happen? So whatever the backend data updated information that it will reflect into the report. Okay, that is for some users we will give that restriction only the view and refresh access. For other users, so they can, so we already take the object, so a lot of objects we will take it into the query panel, and so whatever the so just we'll see the year wise and product wise sales revenue. But some users they want to see sometimes detailed information, the product wise or city wise information. So we will give that access to add the object into the vertical table. Okay. So once we give the access to the adding this object into the vertical table, so immediately they can add this object. But so they don't have the access to save that report into their folder, in the public folder. Okay, they can save their reports into the favorites, their own documents. We are not going to give the access to save that report into the public folder. So that way we will give the restrictions. Okay, the security part, so that we'll discuss in the security part, administrative part we'll discuss. So how to give the access and how to remove the access to the different users. Okay, fine, Ronnie.
Yes, sir. Good.
Okay. So based on the objects you added into the black, so the data will display here. So let's remove this. Now just I am removing this product lines information. Then the sales revenue will change. Basically the sales revenue, it is displaying now the 2004, the quarter wise quarter 4 results. So if you add the state, then the state wise sales revenue, say in quarter 1, so the sales revenue happened in the different states. So state wise sales revenue is displaying. So the values of the measures are always dynamic. Based on the object you added into the black, so the values will change. Now if I remove the quarter again, so the data which is going to display the only the 3 rows. So 2004, 2005, 2006. In 2004 this much of the sales revenue happened, and 2005 this much of the sales revenue happened. Okay, so this is a way, so we can add the object in the vertical table. Based on the object you added into the vertical dimension object, so the measures will change, measure values will change. Okay, and again, so how to edit the query? Simple. Just I want to remove the city object here. Just to go to the edit query and remove the city object. So this is how we can remove it and run this query. Okay, so now just take the state object and drop here. Now the year in 2004, so state wise sales revenue is displayed. So basically what happened in the back end, so when you run the report, so what is happening in the back end source that we see. Yes, Asif, go ahead. Yes, as if go ahead. Yes, 1 second. Yes, no, you are in unmute. Like you can go ahead now. Whatever you have question, you can tap. I can't hear your voice. Maybe you have a problem with the mic. So better what you can do, you can type the message so I can understand the question.
Madhukar and Santosh, I have a question.
Yes, Santosh, go ahead.
Can you show us what are all objects and what are all dimensions? So objects is like the thing, the first that's what you are selecting. The means the main thing is like object, or under everything it comes dimension.
Yes, yes, yes.
So the time,
So this
the
time period is the class. Time period is the folder. So here is the object. Here is the dimension object. Objects are qualified in 3 types. Just I'm keeping mute. I'm letting it go. Okay.
Can you mute
So,
please? I have increased sound actually.
Yeah. Just I'm muting everybody. Yes, as if just in the last session we discussed just what are the topics we are covering in the training. So we are now just discussing the web intelligence reports. The crystal report session will come at the end of the sessions. Okay. So we are in just the beginning of the session. So we are discussing the web reporting part. Okay. Part session, you will understand what we discuss in the sessions. Okay. Okay. So, okay, Santosh. So what I'm doing here, see, these are the objects. So year, quarter, months. So objects are qualified as 3 types. One is a dimension, detail, and measure object. So measures are always if like it contains a numeric value. So based on the dimension objects you added into the report, the measures will change. The measures are always dynamic, and the dimensions are the static. So if it is a year is equal to 2004, so it is always the value of the year is always 2004. But the revenue will change. So if you add the year object in the report, so the sales revenue is different, and if you add the year and sales revenue will display. So based on the year and quarter wise information, right? So objects are qualified as 3 types: dimension, detail, and measures. So detail object will be the basically. So let's take the customer is there. So customer name will take it as a detail object. Okay. So as of now, just don't think about the different type of objects. So we'll discuss about this 3 types of objects when we are designing the universe. But simple, the object dimension object is it contains the static information, and measures is having the dynamic values. So based on the object you added into the report, so it will display the sales revenue. Okay. So if you see in our report, so here is always 2004 only, but the sales revenue will change. So suppose if I see the first row is it's showing the 1704211. So if I remove the California, if I remove the state object, 2004 is always same. So it will display the same only. Now if I remove the state, then the sales revenue values will change, because the sales revenue now, so in year 2004, what is the total sales revenue? That information it will display. Okay. Fine. Yes. So come back here, the query process, what will happen? So when you are connecting to the BA Launchpad, SAP BA Launchpad, so we are going to selecting the web intelligence report. Once you select the web report, so we are trying to create the new report. So once you select the new report, so there you can see the list of the universes. So I selected the one universe. So I selected the fashion universe. So once I selected the fashion universe, okay, so then you can see all the classes and object. So all the classes and object in the universe panel, right? So in all the class and object, you can see in the universe panel once I select the universe. Okay. So now I just drag the object in the query panel. So I have taken the few objects in the query panel, in the result object panel. So that part, okay. So because the backend the SQL is generated, the inverse work is over. Then so whenever you are creating the universe, so universe connected to the one of the database. So it contains the connection, right? It contains the connection. So when you are creating the universe and exporting the universe to the repository, so repository contains the connection also, sales connection. Okay. So repository contains the sales connection. When you drag the object in the query panel, so whatever the universe is connected to the database, so directly, so when you run the report, so see, once I have created just add the object in the query panel, right? So once I add the object in the query panel, the backend SQL is generated. The SQL is generated now. So when you run the report, whatever the SQL is generated, this SQL query will take to the database. So this SQL query go to the database, and the web intelligence server, basically web intelligence server will send this SQL query to the database. Okay. So this SQL query go to the database and it will execute in the database. Whatever the SQL is there, that SQL query will execute in the database, and it will give the response with the data, with the results of the SQL query. It will give the response to the results of the query, and it will display in our report in the vertical table format. By default, the data will display in the vertical table format. So this is the way the query process will happen. The universe is just creating the SQL query only. The universe is, see, universe doesn't have any data. It doesn't have any data. Universe just so useful to create the SQL queries. So once the SQL query is generated, then the SQL will go to the database and it will execute in the database, and it will run it will come with the results. It will display in our report. So that way the process will happen. Yes, correct. Yes, correct, Raj.
Yeah, Madhu.
Yes. Yes. Go ahead. Anybody have any question? Yeah.
Normally in a we report, it's when execute the query, it's just getting the data from database, but it's not holding any data, right? Maybe.
No.
It doesn't hold any data, right? Okay.
Now, so it's not holding any data, but if you save this report, so the report is going to save that into the repository. See, so I'm going to save this report, and now it is holding the data. Fully. So the product wise, quarter wise sales revenue information only. Okay. So maybe doesn't have all the data. Okay. Maybe whatever you have a generated query, only that type of only that data we are going to store into our repository. Our BO system we are going to store it. Okay. So guys, you understand now. If I try to rephrase the report, then so again this SQL query go to the database and it will execute it, and it will come with the latest data. So it will give the response with the latest data, and it will display. Okay. So that way, so we'll get the data in our report.
Can I ask one question? If I'm understanding it correctly, we need to refresh this query or just open it up to get the new data?
Yeah. Yes. So to get the latest data, yes, correct. So we need to. So if we want to latest data, yes, you need to refresh this report. Okay. Yeah, Roni, I'm getting a lot of noise from your background. So if you have any questions, just let me know. Okay, fine. Yeah, basically the purge function, what it will do generally when you save this report into the folder, so if you can purge it and you can save it. So purge means so it will remove the data in our report. Okay. Now there is no data in our report. So it will remove all the data in our report. Okay. Then, so if you click on refresh again, so we'll get the data from the database. So the SQL is already generated. So when we are creating the query, and when you refresh it, so always this SQL query go to the database and it will execute that SQL query and it will give the results in our report. So that way it will work. Only the inverse is useful to generate the only the SQL queries. Then it is the inverse work is done with that connection, inverse connection only. So this SQL query go to the database. Okay. So this is a way the backend the process will happen when you are refreshing the report, when you are creating the report in time. Fine?
Yeah, Madhu.
So yes.
Yeah, this project actually, which scenario you use the project?
Yeah, basically, see, just I have created the reports, and there are 5 universes. It is there in the universe. So I want to move this reports development system to the QA system. That time we will purge all the data. Okay, we will purge all the reports and save it into the repository into our folders. Okay. So what happened? So if you save this report with the data, the report size will be more, right? And when you this BA file the development system to the QA system, it will be like the more size. So in that situation, we'll do this purge option. Okay.
When you do the purge option, it's delete the data, right? Whatever the data
Yes.
is there.
Yes. It will, yes. Correct. It is delete the data in our report. See, if I click on purge, right? So nothing will be there. Only the structure will be stored into the repository if you save it. Okay.
Okay.
So let's purge it now. Just I'm purging this query. Okay. Let's just add this object also. Okay. Now I am saving this report. So I can save this report in my favorite folder, and also I can save this report into the public folder. Okay. So I am saving this report into the public folder, sales report. So I'm just saving into the web intelligence samples. You can save it. So then go back to the go back to the documents folder, and now you can see the web intelligence samples. You can see that report, sales report, right? So open this sales report. Now this is not one, right? Where I have saved this report. Okay, let me save again. Save as. Okay, now the document list. Okay, now you can see the sales report. Now, so generally we can open the report similarly, like a double click on this. Nothing is displaying, right? When you refresh it, right? So then we will get the data from the DB. Now you can see the data. But there is a product lines information also there, but so that we cannot able to add it here. See, nothing is displaying, right? So there is a product lines information also, but that is not displaying here. So how we can see? Just I open the report in the modification of the report, then only you can view it. Okay. So what I can do? So go to the sales report document folder. Go to the document folder and right click here and modify. Click on modify. Then, so if you click on modify mode, if you open the modify mode, so now you can see the class and objects panel. So you can drag the object into the block. So now, so take this city or a quarter like product lines you can add here. Okay. Now you can refresh the report. How to refresh the report? So go to the data access and refresh this report. It will come the data. It will give the results. Okay, difference in changing in a report and changing in a query. Okay, so changing a report means that just now I changed it. So basically the data which is displaying the year-wise, quarter-wise sales revenue, right? So I change the report just adding the product-wise and state information. That is a changing report. Okay. Then what is a changing a query? Query means, so just think the changing a query is just you need to go to the edit query and adding the object into the query panel. That is nothing but a changing query. Okay. So then, so see, even though in our, it's taking time. Okay, we'll do this. Okay. So changing a query means, yeah, it's coming. So changing a query means go to the edit query and you are adding the object in the query panel. So that means you are trying to get the more objects, more columns data in our report. Okay, basically when you are taking the object in the query panel, so whenever you are using those objects in the block, then only you need to take it. So or else like unnecessarily if you take this object in the left hand side panel, so that object data also will get it. So it will degrade the performance. If you take the unnecessary object, so it will degrade the performance because it is trying to fetch the product wise or state wise information also. If you are not using the product information in our report, so better not choose the product information in the query panel. Okay. Yeah, generally it should not take that much time. So because of the server, so it is taking a lot of time. So for BO4.0, it required at least for sample for your development purpose. So for your GB RAM is required for BO servers. But still it is taking time. Okay. So guys know right how to open the report, how to save the reports, and how we can save this report in Excel format or PDF format so that we can see. Yes, Asif. So today just I am showing how to create the report. Just understand the concept first. So how the data is coming into the report. This we'll see. So which each tab and what will be there. That is only the main important thing. The formatting option. How to do all the formatting. Okay. That's what it will take around more than 5 hours of time to know all the functionality of the web. Yes. So we'll go ahead with one by one. Okay. Okay, let's close this and open it again. Okay. So I already saved this report. So I can save this report. I can save this report in the different format. So see, I cannot save this webby format report into our desktop. You can save it into the you can save this report into the PDF format or Excel format. So just click on save as. Because of this slow performance, we are getting some different type of errors. Just try to open a report again and refresh this report. So when you open the view mode, you don't see any analysis or report elements, nothing you can see here, right? Okay, now I'm saving this report, save as. So I'm saving this report on my desktop. I'm going to save this report on my desktop. It's not displaying the desktop. Let me Just open it again. So just I'm trying to show you how to save this web intelligence report in Excel format or in PDF format. That's what I'm trying to show you here. Refresh this report. Now you will get the data. So click on save as. So select save as. Now you can see the localhost means that means it is like going to store into the my favorites or public folder. If you select the desktop, so I can save that report on my desktop. So select the desktop and you can save this report into the different format. You can save it into the PDF or Excel or text files. So what I am doing here, I am going to save this report in the PDF format. Sales report _1 PDF document, right? You can save this. Or if you want to like use the specific pages, you can select the specific pages. Okay. Or you can want to select all the pages, you can select all pages. So save is, so select the save, then you can see that report into the PDF document. So guys, you can see the sales report is saved into the PDF format. Okay, into the Excel sheet also. So we can save that report in an Excel sheet. Save as. Click on save as. So again, select the desktop, and now this time I am selecting the Excel document, Excel sheet, and save it. So now you can see the sales report. And if there are any pie charts or the cross-tab reports, that also you can see into the PDF as well as the Excel sheet also. Okay. So we can see the cross-tab reports or vertical table, vertical we have seen. So this is a vertical table format. And how we can create the pie charts and the cross-tab reports, that we can see now. Okay. So now, so I'm going to create a report with the cross-tab reports. How to create the cross-tab report? So simple, like so go to the report elements. So now take this cross-tab report, cross-tab format, and drop here. We need to restart this server once. I think a very long back they restarted these systems, so it is a little bit slow. Okay, so now you can see here the cross-tab also is one of the the format we can see the data. Okay, so there are different table format. You can see the one is a vertical table format, and one is a horizontal table format, cross-tab format, and another is a forms. You can display the data in forms. So now, so I'm taking this year object and drop here. So basically in the cross-tab, so we are going to display the data in the dimensions and object. Dimensional object will display in the columns and rows, and the intersection of the rows will display the revenue information. That means key figure or measures information will see in the intersection of the rows and columns. Okay. So basically this, see, so whenever you add the year object here, so basically the column wise data is displaying, right? But here, so whenever I am dragging the object in the cross tab, the data which is displaying the
Yeah, Madhu, we are able to hear.
Oh, so hi everyone, so I'm back. So my internet connection is got disconnected, so I rejoined the back. So fine. So here just what I'm discussing different types of formatting we are discussing. So now just I have added the object, the dimension object here, the data which is displaying in the column wise the 2004, 5, 6 data is displaying. Now, so now I'm taking the state object here. And so now I'm taking the state object here. Okay. So fine guys. So now the object I'm just dragging the object into here. So the data which is displaying the row wise, right? So California, Colorado, DC, row wise, and these are the column wise data is displaying. Now, see, basically the measure object will display here intersection of the rows and columns. In the cross tab, the measures always display intersection of the rows and columns. So simple. Take this sales revenue and drop here. Now guys, you can see the data which is displaying now. So here by the state-wise sales revenue is displaying, right? So this is a way, so we can display the class tab report. So this is a vertical table data which is displaying the all the data which is displaying column wise. But here the data when you are using the cross tab, so the measures always display the intersection of the rows and columns, the rows and these are the columns. So the dimension object always display the rows and columns. Okay. So this is a way so we can create the class tab reports. Okay. So like how we'll decide to go for the class tab report or we'll go for the vertical table? No. So we are not going to decide the template of the report. So the end user is going to decide it. So in which format they want to create this report, right? So end user will give the requirement with the template. So in which column they want to create, they want to see the data. So what type of the template? So they need the pie chart report, or they need the cross tab report, or so requirement document. Okay. And also now I'm going to show you how to create the pie chart. So add a report. So here also we can display the pie chart. So the space is very less. So I'm just showing into the separate report. Okay. So take this pie chart. So take this pie chart and drop here. Now just we can drag the object. So I want to see the state-wise sales revenue information in the pie chart. So just take this state object and drop into the pie chart. So guys, if you have any questions, just you can ask me now. So because we are not going to discuss again this part, so how to create the pie chart, how to create the vertical table reports. Okay. So tomorrow we are going to discuss the remaining concepts. So sales revenue and drag and drop here. So I'm going to drop into the pie chart. So the data which is displaying the state-wise sales revenue, right? So which state is having the highest sales revenue? Is it California or Texas? Texas is having the highest sales revenue. You take the mouse, if you take the cursor, so it will display the values also. Okay. So if you take it here, the New York and New York sales revenue is displayed, right? So this is the way we can create the cross tab reports. And if you want to create the bar chart reports, so select this bar chart, sorry, column chart, select the column chart and drop here. So now just simple what you are going to do it here. So drop an object here. So let's take the product lines information. Sales revenue. Okay. Now you can see the data. The product wise sales revenue information, the columns are data. So you can expand this pie chart, you can see the data clearly. Okay, yes, you can see now. So sweat t-shirt is having the sales revenue, right? Sweat t-shirt is having the sales revenue. So now you can see the accessories is the next sales revenue. The second sales revenue. So this is a way. So we can create the dashboard. We can create the pie chart and the column chart reports. And if you save this report in PDF format or Excel, yes, we can save it, and it will display in the Excel sheet also. So the desktop intelligence, save it. Sorry, desktop. Yes. It's really very slow today, and I will check with the server team and I'll ask them to restart the server once. You are getting error because that I already opened those reports. I'll open that report. That's what you are giving error. It is being used by the processor. So close it and save it again. Yes, Ronnie, we can create the jumping reports, one report to the another report, summary report to the detailed report. Yes, so that we'll discuss. So how we can link one report to the another report, and how we can open the summary report to the detailed reports. Okay, yes, that we'll discuss. Okay, I'm saving this report on my desktop. Save here. Raj, I am not sure what exactly the RRI. No, it is already there. This is already available. In 3.1 also it is there. Okay, now you can see the report in the pie chart as well as the column chart, right? So this is a way we can display the data in our Excel sheet. Fine. Fine, guys, this is about the BA Launchpad, how to create the different template of the reports. So cross tab, vertical table,